meeting, I can definitely go through a demo for you. Main kind of thing is I would love to hear your use case, how and why you're interested in using Calendar Anything, and what your main focus is to build out and solve for. And then also kind of like a timeline of what you were looking to implement and that kind of good stuff. So you're more than welcome to give me an overview as you see fit.
Okay. I tried to get some information from. I'm the Salesforce product manager
Mhm.
here, so tried to get some information from who would be the end users. I haven't seen that yet, so
Okay,
what I'm going to give you is just kind of what I think might be a basic overview.
for sure.
Um, are you familiar with a product called Ebsta?
I'm not.
Okay. Let me see.
You can share your screen if it might be easier that way to show me something. There's a big green button at the bottom.
Yeah, no, I could do that. I don't think that would be of any value.
Okay.
Um, well, why don't you tell me a little bit about the product, how
Sure.
it's how other Salesforce users have implemented it, used it for, and for what purposes that might
Yeah,
help.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and share my screen as well. Let me get into my new demo org. And then let me share my screen with you. This is loading. So a little bit about Silverline and Calendar Anything. Silverline is based out of New York. We are a platinum consulting partner of Salesforce. And in our very beginning days, we developed apps before we started to get into full-time consulting. And one of the apps we developed and Salesforce loved was Calendar Anything. And they liked the fact that you were able to build calendars off of any custom or standard object as long as a day time field or a day field is attached. Um, and it's great because you have a bunch of different views. And of course, when we first started, it was very, maybe we only had a month view and we didn't have a mobile app. But over the years, we've definitely expanded it. And we've come out with quite a few different features. So recently, what we've been seeing as far as use cases and things are the fact that we have a mobile app. And so a lot of field service lightning folks have been coming on recently, where they're able to send their folks out to the field. They have their app on the Salesforce One app, and they're able to see in an agenda view, say, everything that is coming up, all of their jobs. They have total control over what is seen here. As you can see here, this is a bunch of IDs because we're marketing campaigns.
Right.
But if I go into a PTO calendar, I can kind of see, let me go into a month view for you. You can see at a glance what is going on. Uh, Another great thing is that you can color code. So here I have a pay time off calendar of folks that are on my staff, and I have it color coded by name. You also, as far as other clients and different use cases, they also are very big into seeing marketing campaigns and things over long periods of time.
Okay.
So a Gantt view is great for that as well. With Gantt view, you have two levels of grouping. So here, I'm going to turn this task calendars off. You have two levels of grouping. So we have it by status here, which is what I have it color coded by.
Okay.
And then you can also color code it by, any field on the actual object. So instead of doing status, since it's already color coded by status, it's not going to really do anything for us. Let's choose a different field. So I'm just going to go by name. So now we have it by account name and type. And we also have a sum field. So if this is attached to dollars, you can have a sum field for dollars. So you can see exactly how much, and I'm going to go into my opportunities calendar to show you that. You can see exactly dollar amount broken out by customer and what the opportunity type is for existing business.
Okay,
So
that's
Gantt,
interesting. Let me.
yeah, for sure.
One
Go
of the
ahead, tell me.
people, actually, that I'm the main person right now in her department that I'm looking for a better
Hmm.
calendaring system is people who work in. We're a nonprofit,
Hmm.
global nonprofit. So one, I like the fact that, and let me ask this question.
Of course.
So it's compatible with Salesforce One, yes?
Yes, it is compatible with Salesforce Mobile. There is an Lightning extension that is installed and configured within your desktop version,
Okay.
and it's a mobile app that you can configure it.
So if I'm off, let's say if I was offline, because one of the things that we do, well, one of the main things that we do is we build schools
Hmm.
in third world countries.
Gotcha.
So we have people out in the field where there is no internet connection. So
Hmm.
let's hypothetically say they were doing some work. Could they then upload that when they're back online?
Yes, when they're
Okay.
back online, once they have an internet connection, it will not be an issue. You will not be able to access the calendar just like you can't access Salesforce mobile without an internet connection.
Okay. And so the department that our main focus is on right now is the grant and
Mhm.
proposals. So they do a lot of work with getting grant proposals out, having to schedule all the different steps and so forth. So they have the calendar and be able to share that information because
Mhm.
we are we all pretty much work remotely.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things we'd like to be able to do is share the information on various calendars amongst various users.
Definitely. So, how you share calendars is you can do it one of two ways. You can have an admin set up all the calendars and then share it out via public groups. Or
Okay.
if you give full functionality to your actual users, they can also create their own calendars and go into step 6 and share via public groups as well. So, if there's somebody out on the road that's creating a calendar, hey, we have this new project coming up, whatever the situation may be, it is not only limited to build and share calendars with admins. Anybody that has access to calendar anything full version will be able to do that. You can of course limit accessibility via visual force page as well.
Okay. And is so I noticed you're on opportunities. You just had mentioned
Mhm.
something to do with if you're looking up at the top there, that little bar where it says opportunities. Is with an individual calendar date, is it possible to embed field level data?
Yes, so on a Gantt chart it's a little different. You actually have to click into it to actually see and define what fields you see here, but you have total control over what the information is when you click into it.
Okay, that's great. I see that you have the stage field.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you can pull in any field that is on the object you're working in. These are just the
Okay,
ones that I pulled in for
that's
this meeting.
great. That's excellent.
Yeah, and I'll go just to show you how it works on the back end. So this is set up. So as far as step 4 and 5, you can pull in the fields here. You can open up second and third level fields so you can actually, dive a little deeper into it.
Okay,
And then this is actually create and edit. So you have total control over the experience you get when you create and edit. So if I click in here and I want to edit this in some way, I can define what fields show here. So I'm able to update this to say 50.
oh, that's great. And that will update in Salesforce in the field in
Correct.
Salesforce. Great.
Exactly. So when I double click into this, that'll actually be the record in Salesforce, and you can see that I've updated it.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah. And then you also have the ability via Visual Force pages to embed calendar anything in layouts. So as you hear, as this isn't of course Lightning, but you can do it in Classic as well. This is just a calendar. So I have a dynamic calendar that will only show the opportunities related to this account.
Okay, that's nice. Really good.
Any other questions as far as functionality you were hoping to see that you're
N-
not?
No, not offhand. I mean, you knocked down the two major selling points of the application. I mean,
Yeah.
we need something much more robust than, the typical Salesforce
Yes,
calendar
yes.
functions, which is pretty rudimentary.
Definitely. And I definitely want to make sure I show you this as well, which is filter set. So this is one of the newest releases that we come out with.
Okay.
You're able to filter a bunch of different ways. So you're actually able to put a hard filter on the actual calendar and share it out with the hard filter. It works just like list views within Salesforce. So you can add multiple search criteria, add advanced filter rule. This is every single field on the object you're working in.
Oh, that's
That's a
great.
hard filter on the actual calendar.
Okay.
Or you can go in and say, okay, I want to look at my marketing calendar and, only add an email really matters to me. I can click that, it will automatically whittle down data. As an admin and even as a user, if you open up the filter panel and filter sets for them, they can create their own. So here I have one that is based on campaign type. So if I
Uh-huh.
go into my marketing campaigns, I can just say, okay, I want to see advertising, email, banner, and press apply. And it will automatically whittle down the data there.
Okay. Now,
You can
does that put email content into a calendar date?
you okay, so you're talking about uh actually emailing out somebody?
Oh, so I see you have a chatter button there.
Yes. So you can, of course, it's disabled in my org for this, but yes, you can chatter off of any of, as long as you have it open for that object, You can chatter on it. You can also add attachments.
Okay, that's great. That's excellent.
There's also and I think I have adjacent events. Yeah. So here, if I want to invite somebody, I have invitees. I can search user lead contacts and I can just add somebody to this meeting. And then I
Nice.
can email a blanket statement. Of course, that is set within Salesforce setup, but you can set an email changes. And then once they replied back, it'll say accepted with an A around it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of functionality in here. A lot of it is found within my calendars and display settings, turning on and off special settings like the layout settings, display filter panel, and display filter sets. That's a toggle thing you have to actually turn on. Same with if you have folks working in different time zones, we have a time zone selector you can turn on. So if I go to my day view, you can quickly see, let me go to my, of course, there's something here. What day do I need to go to? March 13th. Perfect. Let me show you a few things here. First, I can go to grouping and I can say, okay, I want to group by user. And it will give me all the users. And then I can see exactly side by side who's doing what.
Oh,
I
good.
can also go ahead and drag and drop and reassign it
Nice.
if I see he's got too much going on. So if you have workflow processes set up in Salesforce, it'll automatically email Thomas, hey, you got something new assigned to you.
Oh, cool.
So this is the day view with grouping. And then what else was I going to show you? It escaped me. Oh, time. Yes, my time zones. So as you can see here, it says 8:45. But if I change it to a different time zone, it'll automatically update the time. So now it's outside of working hours. So you know you don't want to schedule that time for that person.
Right, right.
So something to keep in mind there if you have folks working in different time zones.
Sure. No, yeah, we do.
Great. So yeah, just a few different things. That's pretty much a super high level overview of calendar anything. Let me see if I can get my mobile app to work. It sometimes will work, sometimes will not. So let me see if I can get it to work. All right, perfect. So this is what the mobile app will look like. If I click on this hamburger up here, this actually brings you into Salesforce regular mobile app. And
Oh,
as you can see here, we just have a calendar anything mobile extension. I'm going to go into the webinar one. We just had a webinar, so this was built out. So here you can see, okay, I want to click on the certain calendars I want. You can go down and press save. You can then go back. You can add here. So if I want to add to the Jason's events calendar, it'll pull me into a record layout just like you have on your Salesforce mobile. Meeting, save. That'll automatically update. Go back to my calendar and see it's been created. And then you also have the opportunity to view, and of course, this is not updated. This is the reason I don't like this thing. There are options here at the top that on the correct version. It'll show you week, day, agenda, and day with grouping. So the ones you have are day with grouping, week, and agenda, and then we have a month view that's coming. It should be coming out in the next like 2 months for a release. So we do releases at least 4 times a year with Salesforce, but we probably do it more than that, or 2 times a year with Salesforce, spring and
okay.
summer. Is it 4 times a year with Salesforce or 2?
Oh, it's 3 times.
3 times. Okay, so we do it. We're consistent with Salesforce because we have to update it with Salesforce, and then we do small releases in between them
Okay,
for small things.
great.
Yep. Any other questions or concerns? Did you have an idea of how many users would be looking at purchasing? Or
I would probably think in the immediate term at least 2, but possibly more.
okay, I always like to ask that question. We do have a minimum purchase requirement of 10 licenses.
Okay.
So something to keep in mind there. I can allow a client to purchase less than 10. I don't suggest it, and the reason being is that you don't have access to calendar anything support. If you run into an issue, you won't be able to submit a case at all.
Right.
So just
right.
something to keep in mind there. You probably definitely want to purchase at least 10 and call it a support fee.
Okay, so what would 10 licenses for a year cost?
That's $1,200. So it's $120 per license per year. And
Okay.
anyone that wants to view or edit the license needs a Anyone that wants to view or edit the calendar needs a license.
Okay. Alrighty. And let's see. Is there any nonprofit pricing?
Yes, nonprofit pricing is a 25% discount, so you're looking at $90 per license per year.
Okay. Alrighty.
Is there anything else I can answer for you in the immediate future? Have you installed into Sandbox?
No, I haven't installed into Sandbox yet. That's probably my next step.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can go ahead and send you the links for the latest install. So I'll send you the links to install into Sandbox and production. You have an unlimited amount of time to test in Sandbox, and you have an unlimited amount of licenses as well. Once you install into production, it gives you a 14-day trial.
Okay.
You cannot push what you built in Sandbox to production, so something to keep in mind there. And then I'm also going to send you the user guides and the advanced admin guide so you can go ahead and start building out. It's pretty simple. It's just the edit button and going through those different steps I showed you.
Sure.
But as you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I'm more than happy to hop on a call and help build calendars as you need.
Excellent. All right. Well,
Awesome.
I will take this to the director of data, and we'll see what he has to say. I recorded this so we can, I can just post this up to those guys and let them take a look at it.
Perfect. Perfect. I really appreciate it, Glenn. If there's anything else I can do, don't hesitate.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Thanks.
Janelle.
Have
All
a good
right.
one.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.